Yo YouTube, how you guys doing? Welcome back to the series where we are talking about beginner builds for killers and trying to give people some sort of direction. I actually am gonna change things up a little bit with this video. If you guys watched my last one with Trapper, I talked about this new series that I'm doing, and I basically said that I was gonna do one build with no teachables at all, and then one build with the teachables from only one other killer. However, upon setting up the build for Wraith, I kind of slowly realized that it's basically gonna be the exact same build every time. Like, essentially, like Whispers and Sloppy Butcher are just like the two best perks that are non-teachable. So those two are just gonna be included in like every single build ever. And then I might occasionally throw in like Bitter Murmur or Deerstalker or I don't know, maybe Noed or something. But essentially it would be just those two perks every time. And that seems kind of boring, right? I could just say, hey, these two perks are really good, and that basically does the same thing. So instead, with this video, what we're going to do, and pardon me if I'm kind of losing my voice, sorry if I sound a little bit screechy. Instead, what we're going to do with this video is we are going to use two different builds, and in each build, we're going to choose one other killer, and we're going to use their teachables and their teachables only. So for the first build, we're going to be using Nurse. Nurse has some pretty solid teachables that kind of really work really well with Wraith and like his power, and they can combo really well with other perks that we have available. So we're going to do one with Nurse perks as well as Wraith perks, and then we're going to do another build with a different killer and Wraith perks. And we're kind of going to do like just two killers perks and make a build out of that. I don't know if I'm necessarily going to do this with every killer. I think I'm going to play it by feel. I think some killers I might end up doing only their perks and non-teachables for the first game, and then some of them I might not. It really depends on what interesting builds I can make with them, but I think this is probably the best way to do it. Otherwise, you guys are just going to see Sloppy Butcher Whispers in every single video, right? So for this first build, we are going to be running, the only Wraith teachable that we're going to run is going to be Bloodhound. Wraith's perks are pretty horrible. He has a pretty bad set of perks. Predator is a perk that I think literally hurts you more than it helps you. Like, it sounds good when you read it, but when you actually play with it in game, it's quite painful. And also, it's one of those things where if you get used to the scratch marks looking the way they look with Predator, whenever you get rid of Predator, you're not going to be able to play anymore. It's like, it's just not good. It's just not good to run ever at any stage of the game. I just don't think Predator's ever worth running. Shadowborn is another perk that is, I think, okay. It's just, I don't think it's really that good on Wraith. I think this perk can be good on some killers, and you see I run it a lot on killers like Nurse. I run it on Billy sometimes. It can be a solid perk on some people. I just think it's good on Wraith. So the only perk that we're going to be using in this video is Bloodhound. Bloodhound's a perk that makes it so that the blood that people leave whenever they're injured are more discernible. Basically, the blood, it like glows like bright red. Speaking is hard, and it lasts longer than normal. So 4 seconds longer than normal, and it's really, really bright. So we're going to be running that. It helps you a lot with tracking, especially when you're tracking injured people. So we're running this, and then we're running an entire build based around keeping people injured as well. So we're running Sloppy Butcher. This is a non-teachable that makes it so that when you hit people, they get mangled, and mangled makes it so they take longer to heal, which is what we want. We want them to stay injured. We want them to take a long time to heal, because while they're healing, we can see them with Nurse's Calling. This is a Nurse perk where you can see people healing up to 28 meters. So it takes them longer to heal, so they'll be stuck in the animation of healing longer, which means you have a higher chance of seeing them with this perk. And we're a stealth killer, so if we do see them, we should hopefully be able to sneak up on them. And then also Thanatophobia punishes you for being injured by making you do things slower, depending on how many people are injured. So this whole build is kind of based around spreading damage. It's based around damaging everybody individually, trying to get a lot of hits on multiple different survivors, and then catching them off guard while they're like healing somewhere, right? Like hitting people, letting them go, like luring them into a false sense of security, coming up later, uncloaking in their face, and then insta-downing them because they're injured, essentially. We're also running very basic add-ons. As far as add-ons on Wraith go, his best add-ons are definitely Windstorm. The entire Windstorm line is amazing. These are definitely his best add-ons. It gives him a ton of mobility while he's cloaked. I think Swift Hunt would be the second best in my opinion. Coming out of cloak faster is really, really good. It makes it so they get way less distance whenever you uncloak in their face, which is really, really good because that's kind of a big problem he has. And again, with this series, I'm not trying to run add-ons that are like, you know, green or purple, so I'm just gonna stick to the yellows, just like the low level ones. I don't think we need anything too crazy. This should be good enough. So let's go hop in a game and we'll see how this build works. Okay, pretty rough map. Also, has anyone noticed these swamp maps look way brighter to me I've heard some people talking about them being darker, and I wonder if that's because people play on ultra graphics. Well, I mean, console players are literally forced to play on ultra graphics, but I wonder if like they're darker on ultra, but on low settings, it's like bright as shit. It feels like almost too bright. Like it looks like if you take like the brightness settings on like a monitor or a TV and like crank them up to the point where it's like whitewashed, that's what it feels like. Wow, that was actually incredibly patient of her. I'm gonna be honest. I thought she left. I thought there was a hole there that she left, but that was actually just really, really patient of her. Touche. That was very well played. I'm gonna go through this Meg who stayed upstairs, I think, which might be a mistake because this is a pretty strong area, but I'm gonna go for it anyway. Fuck it. Fuck it. Hi, Meg. How are you doing? So I'm gonna give her... What the fuck? I'm gonna give her a quick smack after I derp out like an idiot, and then I'm gonna bail and find somebody else. Because that's kind of what this is all about. It's all about spreading the damage, you know? Check it out. We got people here. All right, we're gonna hit her now too. We want to get hits on as many different people as we can. Because first off, it gives us more stacks of thanatophobia. And second off, she had live. Okay. I mean, I don't know why she bothered. She kind of just wasted pallets there, but okay, I'll take it. Like first off, you have thanatophobia, which gets you value on that. And then second off, it gives you a higher chance to catch somebody out healing with your nurse's calling. Unfortunately, these guys seem like they're actually like pretty competent. Like they're not... They seem to be like relatively competent when it comes to looping, so this might end up being pretty hard, but I think we can still make it work. Yeah, and there also happens to be a ton of pallets. That is also a thing, huh? There's quite a bit of pallets here. You're gonna loot vault that. Yep. This setup is disgusting, dude. It's such a good setup. God damn. Oh, nice double back. Okay, we saw the injured Fang over there. I'm gonna smack her once. And I think this is where we can start wandering around stealth. She's injured. A bunch of people are injured. We can break this. Also, this is Bloodhound, by the way. You see how like bright and red these trails are? Here's the thing about Bloodhound, though. You got to be careful with this perk. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't even see that pallet. They're working on this gen above me. I was trying to get to them. I was trying to get past her to get up to them, but I couldn't even get past her. You got to be careful with this perk because you can quickly become reliant on it. I think Bloodhound is a good perk to run until you kind of get used to the idea of tracking blood, if that makes sense. Like once you get used to the concept of tracking blood and you're able to like what? Okay, a big mistake that new players make very often is that they don't track blood. Like they'll chase injured people and they'll try to use either A, sound, which can be countered by Iron Will, or B, like scratch marks, which are sometimes unreliable and not always the best. They're not always the most accurate, right? Blood, on the other hand, is always there and it's always accurate. The only time that blood is really not a good way to track is whenever they're going through grass, right? Like sometimes they can go through grass and it doesn't show up, but most of the time, blood is a really effective way to track people. Also, these guys are all healing, which is kind of a shame. Oh, that was a fast unhook. Hello, hello. It was the two injured people too. Interesting. But I do want to say that I don't think you should get into the habit of running Bloodhound too much. Because it's one of those things where it's kind of like I said with Predator earlier. I think Predator, you can get to a point with Predator where you become a little bit too reliant on it, right? Where like you're so used to looking at scratch marks with Predator that when you don't have Predator, it feels weird and like doesn't look correct. It's the same thing with Bloodhound. I think you should run Bloodhound if you're a new player. If you're a new player who's starting out on Wraith and you have no other good perks, right? Like if you're not running any, if you don't have any other good stuff to run, then it couldn't hurt to run to run Bloodhound for a bit until you get the general idea of tracking, right? Like right here, there's like this blood trail, right? Like I could have been able to follow this without Bloodhound. I didn't necessarily need Bloodhound for this, but as a newer player, it does a lot for you because like I think a lot of newer players wouldn't really know to look for that blood trail. As a matter of fact, I know for a fact they wouldn't. Like every single time I play Survivor and I have Iron Will and then they don't see me even though I walk away and leave a giant blood trail, that lets me know that people don't follow blood enough. So it's definitely a big thing that you got to train yourself to do. Also, we're not picking up that Lori because she probably has DS, and we're not going to commit to the chase either because she's in a really strong area. This build is kind of all about hitting and running. Oh, hi, Lori. And not committing to chases that are difficult, and a couple of these chases have definitely been difficult. Hi. Although we can just get her here. We might get DS'd. Nah, we're good. We're good. It's fine. We're fine. It's fine. I don't know if this guy picked himself up or if somebody picked him up. He might have picked himself up. There might not even be anyone over here. They're probably going to pop that gen up there, but that's okay. That blood on the ground right there was hers from when I picked her up, so that's not really anything to be concerned about. Okay. I'm going to kick this just so it's out of the way. Hey, Fang, what up, dude? What's nice, too, is that if these guys stay injured like they are, that's also fine because that means that they're doing everything slower, right? That's how we get that maximum Thanatophobia value, baby. Which is A-okay with me. She's going to dead hard for this, then she's going to drop it. Bada bing, bada clamp. Easy predictions, baby. All right, hopefully she doesn't DS me. She could potentially have DS too, but I doubt it. Nice. I feel like these guys have all been... Oh, massive blood trail right there. That blood trail tells us that somebody was just right there. So we're going to hook this guy, and then there might be a guy like right below me. Either that or maybe he left. He must have walked away. Shit. I didn't get to see exactly where it went. Hey, there's a Meg this game? I literally didn't see you all game. Holy balls. This is my first time seeing you. All right. She got way too far. That tile is really strong too. That's like an old school double window jungle gym. That's actually a very powerful tile. So it kind of sucks that they keep running there because it makes for really bad chases. I don't know what the fuck this guy's doing. Like, actually, what are you doing? Well, I'm gonna slug this guy. We got the Lori here. The other dude was over there, the Meg. I don't know if she bailed or not, but I imagine she probably just stayed on the gen over there. I'm just gonna commit to this Lori and get some hits. I maybe could have hit that. I just didn't want to risk it. The new window vaults feel really weird. It feels like the hit detection on them are very odd. So I don't like to go for risky hits like that. All right, we're gonna cloak up. She's again in a pretty strong area of the map. That upstairs is a very strong area. No point in chasing, especially whenever I have this build where I can kind of spread out and catch people off healing. These guys aren't quite as derpy as I was hoping they would be. Honestly, I usually get survivors that are like really bad. And I was kind of hoping for that this game because I feel like I wanted to showcase what this build actually feels like when you play against like lower tier survivors with it. But these guys are actually playing quite good, which is a shame. Because that's exactly the thing. Builds like this don't really work too well against survivors that are like solid, right? This is definitely like a noob-friendly type build, but these guys are unfortunately pretty solid, so it's not really getting the value that I think it could get. So, I don't know. Dead hard to do it. Like, for instance, we haven't seen anybody healing. Like, we've gotten, like, nothing out of Nurse's Calling. And I think normally you do get... Oh, I'm chasing this blood trail the wrong way. Oh, I'm fucking stupid. I think normally with this build, you would get a lot of Nurse's Calling value. Like, you would definitely see people healing a lot of the time, you know? But I'm just not seeing it much because these guys are pretty solid. They're not really healing at dumb times. I mean, they're not even really healing ever. And then when they are healing, I think they're only doing it when they, like, know for sure that they're in a safe spot. They're not like running to the outsides of the map and doing it in dumb places, you know? Like, there's a lot of mistakes that people make when it comes to healing. And this build usually takes advantage of it. But again, it's just kind of like, again, like you see how these guys like they picked up that Fang off the ground and instead of just staying there and committing to the heal, they ran away somewhere safe. Like, these guys are playing very smart, which is a shame. I mean, it's not really too much of a shame. Like, it's good for them, right? But it sucks for the exact thing that I'm trying to showcase. This is Bloodhound, by the way. Massive blood trail. Hi. Pretty solid perk, IMO. She's on death hook too, so this is really good for us. We can get her out of the game real quick. Yeah, we haven't really seen anyone healing, which is, yeah, really a shame. But you can still kind of see like the idea behind the build. Like, people are staying injured a lot, which is good. Like, we did have people injured for quite a bit of the game. The gen speeds got slowed down because of it. We also managed to one-shot a lot of the people that we came across because they were already injured. So I feel like even though we're not getting like that big, strong nurses value, I feel like we still got some value out of our build, you know? But hey, these guys played really well. This was a phenomenal job by these guys, honestly. Hello. I wanted to chase the lorry there and not the, I literally was looking up. Wait, what? Does looking up not stop firecrackers anymore? What the fuck? Is that not a thing? Did they change firecrackers recently? What the fuck was that? Dude, every single time anyone has ever thrown firecrackers, I've just looked up and it's always blocked it. That was really weird that that didn't block. Huh. That was odd. Does anybody know anything about that? What the fuck was that? That was very strange. That's never not worked. Interesting. Somebody was here. They're probably just gonna hold W to the exit gate though and get out. I think they know where it is. Yeah, they definitely know where it is. I'm not gonna be able to get any more kills. That's fine though. Honestly, with how well these guys played, us getting a 2K on a killer like Wraith is actually totally fine. Like, I'm actually totally happy with this. I think this was a pretty successful game, all things considered. Like, these guys were good survivors. These guys were definitely not potatoes by any means. They like knew how to loop. They definitely did gens. They were pretty efficient. They didn't fuck around, you know? They got shit done, and we still managed to get 2, which is A-okay with me, honestly. This build would work a million times better. Like, a million times better against lower tier survivors, though. I really wanted to showcase it. It's a shame that we didn't, but... Hey, GG's. GG's. I got a second build in mind that we can do, so let's go. We'll make another build with a different killer's teachables, and we will talk about that one. All right, guys, for this second build, we're going to be using Myers perks this time. I think Myers has a couple perks that are pretty solid on Wraith. Those being play with your food, as well as save the best for last. Save the best for last is a perk that basically makes it so as long as you hit somebody that isn't your obsession with a basic attack, you get stacks, and then for every stack you get, you recover from your swings quicker, which is really nice for people that are M1 killers. I prefer to run this perk on people that can very easily avoid not losing stacks. But with Wraith, it's a little bit sketchy, and I'll talk about why once we get in game, but it's still a pretty good perk. And then we also play with your food. This perk is, I think, one of the worst perks in the game. I think it's kind of like a bait perk because it kind of baits you into going for stacks, even though it's a waste of time. Essentially, if you start a chase with the obsession and then leave them alone, you get a stack, and then the stack gives you a 5% boost to move speed until you use an offensive action. When you do an offensive action, it says a basic attack or a special attack. So basically using like your power that would injure somebody, or using a basic attack gets rid of the stack. So it gives you like a temporary speed boost that goes away, and you can get up to 3 tokens. So this is pretty solid. The idea behind these two perks together is that if I see the obsession, I generally want to leave them alone, because when you smack the obsession with save the best for last, you lose a bunch of your stacks. So you essentially want to leave the obsession alone if you're running this perk, and if you're leaving the obsession alone, that also gives you benefits to this perk. So the entire idea behind this build is basically don't chase the obsession and save them for last. It would be nice if you had Rancor in this build, because that would also give you a good reason to save the best for last, because then you can kill them in the end game. But we're only using one killer's teachable, so we can't really do that. And we're going to go with the reliable, which is Bloodhound, Sloppy Butcher. These two are very good. Bloodhound is, again, the only really perk worth running from race perks. And Sloppy Butcher is just one of the best non-teachables there is. It also combos really well with Bloodhound, like very, very well. So we're going to keep those on, and we're just going to throw these two perks on instead, and we're going to see how this works. Also, we're running the same add-ons, same everything else. We're just changing in those two perks. Let's go give this a try. Okay, so let's talk about save the best for last. This perk is interesting because it has the potential to be like pretty much like a carry perk. If you can get the 8 stacks quickly, it can like really be impactful in your game. But also, I only prefer to run save the best for last on killers where they have a secondary attack that's really easy to use, where you can kind of avoid using stacks. Because again, you get stacks for like basic attacking your non-obsessions, and then if you hit your obsession with a basic attack, you lose like, okay, you get 1 stack for hitting on non-obsessions, and then if you hit your obsession, you lose 2. So it's like really bad to hit your obsession, like really bad. It basically negates 2 hits worth of stacks, which is really, really not good. And at lower levels, it's even more. Like at tier 1, it's like 4, I think. I think you lose 4 per hit on the obsession. So it's a really like don't chase the obsession perk. See, right here's the obsession. We're gonna leave her alone. What's nice is again that we have play with your food, so we just got a little bit faster. We literally just got a little bit faster off that, which is pretty solid. I'm gonna go body block this pallet. I don't want you to have it. I literally didn't even do it correctly. I'm so bad. Well, she fucked up, so it's okay. I was gonna body block it, and then I did it a little bit early like a dumbass. Oops. But yeah, that's kind of the thing. Like, I usually run this perk on, again, my voice. I don't know what's going on. I usually run this perk on killers like, Pig or Demogorgon because they have like secondary attacks that you can use very easily. And if you use those attacks on the Obsession, you don't lose your stacks because they're not actually basic attacks. They're like special attacks. So those are usually the killers I prefer to run this on, although you can run it on anybody. Like, you can get away with running it on anybody, like Wraith, like Trapper, like any basic M1 killer you can get away with. You kind of just have to leave your Obsession alone. Like, you have to really leave your Obsession alone at all costs. Whoever got the gen done here is going to be going for the unhook. Yeah, like 100%. I already knew. And he's not the Obsession, so it's good to chase him. We just got to leave the Fang alone. If we see the Fang, we just leave her the fuck alone. We just don't even bother. Don't even bother fucking with her, you know? Leave her be. All right, let's see how you play this. How good are you, Felix? How good are you at pallet play, dude? All right, well, you insta-vaulted it. Are you gonna insta-vault it again? You're leaving it this time. Okay. Okay, that was pretty okay. I mean, that was a good juke, but he's still gonna get hit. It would have been a better juke if he then ran back into the pallet and got the hit, or got the stun, I think. But you know what? You know what? It wasn't too bad. He's paying attention. Okay. This Felix seems like he's pretty okay. He's pretty solid at the game. Do you have dead hard? No? Okay, you're dead. You see how much faster I'm like recovering from my attacks? It's that little animation, that little like weapon wipe animation. So much faster, dude. So much faster. And as you get more and more stacks, it starts to get a little nutty. It starts to get pretty crazy. You start recovering like mega quick. Wait, this is the Fang. I gotta leave her alone. I gotta leave her alone. That's the Obsession Fang anyway. Sorry, there's two Fangs. That was the Obsession Fang, whereas this is the I'd Sabo Jake's ass Fang, which is a fucking fantastic name, by the way. That is a lovely name. I'm gonna see if she'll fall for this. What is she doing? Okay, well, interesting. This Fang seems like she is not very good. Seems like I can get hits on this Fang pretty much no matter where she is, because that was a really safe pallet. And she kind of fucked that all up. Except for this one. This one is pretty insanely safe, but I'm going to zone her out. I'm going to force her into the corner, and then I'm going to kick it. That way she's in a horrible spot, and I should be able to follow up with a hit no matter what, because she's kind of in a bad spot. So yeah, we should get it down here. Does she have, do we know if she has exhaustion perks? Do you have any kind of exhaustion? No, I don't think, right? If you do, I don't think it's, I don't think it's dead hard anyway. All right, we're up to 7 stacks, but unfortunately we're losing a lot of gens. This is kind of the thing about running a lower tier killer like Wraith with no regression. Like, if we don't have any kind of regression whatsoever, yeah, this happens. We're also getting really good teams today. I don't know like what's going on. I swear, like, the mass majority of time that I play killer, I go against straight up fucking potatoes. Like, straight up spuds. I don't know what's going on. Tonight, I've been getting like really solid teams. Like, people are like not fucking around today, dude. It's like good ass teams of people that just slam gens, which is a shame because I'm literally doing a new player series. I'm trying to use low tier builds, and it's kind of not a good time, right? Like, I would love this if I was actually doing like tests, or I don't know, something where like I actually want good survivors. But this is like the one time that I kind of do want to beat up on babies, and I'm just not getting any babies. We managed to play that guy pretty well. Also, again, like, that recovery there was huge. Like, we would not have been able to make that play if it wasn't for the recovery of Save the Best for Last. It might not seem like that play was Save the Best for Last, but that play was mostly Save the Best for Last. Like, that recovery, like, basically let us set up that play and, like, and basically react to that as fast as we did, which is pretty fucking sweet. They might be on that far corner, Jen. I just want to make sure they're not on this one. Okay, they're not. They might be on that one, and if they are, it's basically GG. Because it's going to take me forever to get there. They also did a really good job of not 3-genning themselves. Like, man, like, people are just playing really well tonight. They're playing fantastic. Not on this gen. Interesting. Well, now they seem to be a bit lost. I don't think they know where the last gens are, maybe. All right, they're getting the unhook. Who was it, though? It wasn't Obsession Fang, was it? It wasn't. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm too fast, too fast. Move like a butterfly, sting like an angry butterfly. That's a wall. That's a wall, Jane. Look at that recovery, dude. God, it feels so good. It literally feels so good to smack someone and then instantly recover, dude. That is such a good feeling. She dead hard to the side. I thought she was gonna go to the pallet. That was really weird. Think she'll vault? No, she didn't. Wait, we already used this pallet. That's right. Why am I worried about the pallet? Wait, what the fuck am I doing? The pallet was already gone. I'm dumb. I did not even need to worry about that at all. Oh, touche. You're playing pretty well. This is actually really clutch too because they're doing that last gen. I need to get back over there. But she's buying some really good time here. I guess I'll hook her real quick. I think they're going to get that gen done no matter what. I wanted to sluggers to see if I can hurry up and get to that gen before they finish it. But honestly, I think they're going to do it no matter what. Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to stop that. I think even if I slugged her, that was still going to get done no matter what. Okay, okay, okay. Hello, hello. Wait, who's here? Someone's here. Oh, shit. They were further up. They were further up. Not like this. Not like this. We didn't really run into the obsession very much either to get stacks, which is kind of okay. Like we didn't run into them, so we didn't really have to worry about like not hitting them for stacks, but we also didn't get very many stacks of like play with your food, you know? Here, I'm gonna start a chase with her for like a second just to get a stack of play with your food. Here's the thing too, you can stealth as Wraith and instantly get a stack. I kind of forgot to mention that. Like the thing that's cool about Wraith and play with your food, with most killers, to get a stack of play with your food, you have to end the chase. And sometimes ending the chase takes a long time. Like sometimes you have to be out of chase for like a very long amount of time. Whereas with Wraith, you can literally just stealth and it drops the chase instantly. So there's really no like having to wait it out or anything, you know? It's just immediately a thing. And yeah, touche. These guys played fucking phenomenal, dude. I don't know what's going on. Tonight is like the night of like the god survivors, apparently. I don't know what's going on. Like they didn't play chases that well, but god damn were they efficient, dude. Like everyone here was really, really efficient. Save the best for last might mean that I can get a hit here. I'll down her. We might be able to get this other down too. Let me kick this real quick. I'll see what we can do here. If she's smart, she'll run away. And she is. She's bolting away. It puts me in a position where I either have to hook this guy or let him crawl out, and he's crawling, so I gotta hook him real quick. We should still win a pretty good spot here. I should be able to hook her and then find the Jane and then... Oh, she's just gonna run out. I think she's gonna let this guy die. Yeah, she's just gonna let this guy die. She's on her way out, dude. She's like, yeah, sorry about your luck, Fang. I'm out of here. I'm out. Sorry about your luck, Fang. And poor Fang, dude. Poor Fang's a one-hook Andy, dude. One-hook Andy. They call her one-hook Anderson. Unfortunate. Unfortunate, dude. Well, GG's. GG's. These guys played really well. Touché. All right. Let's take a look. Decent bit of blood points. We de-pipped, but hey, it happens. I mean, honestly, this is really what you should expect, though. Like, I gotta say, like, if you're playing a killer like Wraith, a low-tier killer, and you're playing with like a build that is not a good build, such as the one that I have, you know, you should expect to take some L's. You know, you should definitely expect to take some L's. I'm pretty confident that I could have beat these guys with a better build. Like, I don't really think they were like unbeatable. Like, they were definitely solid and they definitely played efficiently, but they weren't like unbeatable. I think the fact that I was playing one of the worst killers in the game with one of the worst builds, like not one of the worst builds possible, but not a very strong build, definitely made this basically, it made it way harder than it could be. I'll say that much at least. But hey, I mean, I think this is definitely important. It's definitely important to know that this is going to happen to you a lot. If you're playing this killer with a build that's new, you're gonna take some L's. Sometimes you take some L's, you know. But hey, GG's to these guys. They played well. Let's go. All right, boys, that's gonna be it for this video. I'm kind of realizing at the end here that I was like this video is gonna be like best beginner builds, and then it's gonna be 2 games where I kind of got shit on. Well, like I said, I get shit on the first game. It was like a pretty even game. Like I got 2 kills. We got a ton of hooks. The first game was pretty okay, but that second game was rough. Considering this is supposed to be the best beginner builds, it's a shame that these games didn't go better. But trust me, these builds are pretty solid. Okay, if I was actually going against like newbie survivors, these builds would have absolutely wrecked them. I promise. Okay, you're gonna have to just take my word for it. Since the gameplays, I'm also not gonna record 50 games and only take the ones that go well. Okay, I want to actually just like put the video out there regardless of how the games go. So you're gonna just take my word for it, okay? But anyway, that's gonna be it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope it taught you something new. I'm definitely probably gonna be keeping this formula for future videos in the series, where I probably just do this killer plus one more killer's perks, as opposed to doing one with no teachables at all, because it seems like it's just gonna be kind of boring. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys liked it. Remember to leave the video a like if you guys did like it. Helps me a lot with the algorithm. Also, subscribe to the channel because I upload literally daily. And also stop by my live stream. I'm live on Twitch 6 nights a week over on twitch.tv/OhTofu. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys have an awesome rest of your night. I'm out of here. So yeah, take care. So yeah, I'm out of here. So yeah, see you later. So yeah.